On today's late IHP show, we have your very own Maria and my younger version. Aren't I interesting with the long hair? No, it's not long. I actually had way long hair when I was like 16, 15. Yeah, that was 19. I cut my hair at 18. I actually cut it really short. And on that note, tonight, we get to talk a little bit about this and that. And I did have a very funny one for you. But I said, you know what? I think I need to redo. Because sometimes it's better. It's better to redo. So, 5D mystic here. And yes, woo-woo lady, pseudoscience, Enlightenment soul age group though. So expanding consciousness. It's really nice when you have a 3-year-old whole heart. And it's really nice to hear about the success stories of those who move into their 3-year-old whole heart once they move beyond their childhood trauma, their attachment wounds, so people who go to good therapists. And I'm getting to learn about the disorganized attachment one as well as dissociation, so dissociative identity disorder, what used to be called multiple personality disorder. And how a person got to move into completely their true self and out of their safety, behavior protective false self. Okay, so on that note, I like to be funny and I have plenty of sarcasm. That's why the other one got deleted, because some things are nice, but maybe once we're in a community setting for today, I want to keep on trying to create awareness and empower those who are the 3-year-old whole hearts to understand when projection happens, to just leave it alone like you've already been doing. So this one's for the people who have compassion in the forefront. People who choose to not have compassion for humanity and to not understand that if you think humans are broken, it's a mirror of what you feel inside of you, which means there might be a shame cycle in there, more than just one, because our human nature is love, and to be compassionate, and to be able to be an adult, the Enlightenment soul age group though. So that means to be able to be an emotional adult. So when you know emotional adulthood since forever, it's because you're a differentiated self, which means I, Maria, have a subjective way of thinking and feeling. Even though I'm human, it's not because I'm more special or less special. No, I also have what's called healthy self-worth. So the whole 3-year-old hearts, we know that it's okay if somebody says, oh, what do you want to cry? Again, cry then, go, cry. It's happened. I'm like, yeah, I'm a sensitive person, don't you see? 4'9" here, small, female. Gender stereotype, anyone? Shall we go down that path? So it's a very unique world to be able and be around people who are actually, unfortunately, not very well inside of their nervous system. They're dysregulated. They didn't learn how to regulate. And they pick on people, and people pick on them. And, you know, that's how the silverbacks work, because all of those who need a silverback are people who do not yet know how to harness their own self-regulation, their nervous system. They haven't chosen to go down the path of creating a relationship with their emotions, and they actually use the lame excuses of devils, evils, demons. But it's not just them, it's the people around that continue to point fingers and shame, blame, fault, and revenge. And it's that cycle of, you know, people who do trauma, safety behavior, protective, false self. It's not the whole self yet. It's once you're in the unconditionally loving space. So I have flaws and imperfections because I live a subjective experience, meaning I acknowledge that you live your own thoughts and feelings, and we might not agree. So it's not because I'll compare myself, it's because you might present to me something and I'll acknowledge as an adult your feelings and your thoughts without thinking or feeling of myself as lesser than or superior to you. No, healthy self-worth, again, means that I love myself completely without wavering, because love is you in your ventral vagal state. Okay, so on that note, for a 5D mystic in the Enlightenment soul age group, there are some of those sentences that we really don't like. Oh, only good people, only gullible people, only pink tainted glasses people. Oh, you can't have the peace in the world. No, they're all going to kill each other. No, evil, it's one. There's nothing else that can be done. Or how about evil is here. We're the light workers. We're all going to go. Only us, though. Only the 144,000. And we're special and anointed. Okay, so all of us are spirituality processes. But for the 4D mystic plane, there's a lot of that going on. Now, I do want to say something. I'm not in favor of necessarily completely teasing in a way that I've seen, like, spirituality is a fake piece of shit. No, it's not. It actually isn't. The reality is when you see a person who's an actual spirituality process, they're going to speak to you about their journey. They're going to be able to expand with you. They're going to have fun with you. They're going to know how to talk to you about their clairs. And for those who unconditionally love to talk about what it's like to be around people who are of our oversoul and do not know how to be in the absence of projecting their dysregulated nervous system and their own shit show. So the part about when people say you're too good or you're emotionless, so if people don't have drama, they're emotionless to some people. And that's because they don't do the human suffering bit. Or they're lying. You must be lying. Or the other one, you have a problem. And when people are consistent, there's also, oh, you're pushy. I'm consistent, I'm not pushy. There's two different ways. Pushy would mean that I consistently come to you and harass you to do something. If I'm consistently communicating and you don't make it clear you don't want to communicate, for example, that's not pushy. That's you not knowing how to say, I don't want to at all ever, so there's a lot of ways I've seen people use words and they're not adults because they don't know how to just say things directly. On that note, how do I explain this one? When we know that people get into their bitter energy because they're pressured, we don't say anything because we understand that when a person who's a 3-year-old with a shame defectiveness cycle feels pressured and does not know how to use their words, they're going to act like dickwads because they don't know how to harness their nervous system and to regulate their own emotions and to get their words out in a way of saying, wow, hey, you know what? I'm not really into talking at all. Never, ever, ever. It's actually funny that I think about this stuff. On that note, for us, it's very different. When we've figured out if there are areas that are going to be of disconnect, we're just going to say, hey, you know what? I don't feel I can be myself anymore, so it's not fun. I'm not having fun. I'm actually not enjoying myself. So I think, I don't know what I think. I don't think anything. I'm just making a very straightforward statement of how I feel because of our interactions. You know what people who are grown-ups do? That not the ones who take it personally. That's not a grown-up. A grown-up says, you know what are you talking about? Wait, let me understand this. I'm interested in finding out what is it exactly. And here's the part about when people don't know their true self. Because see, your true self, like my true self, and any human being's true self, is love. Those first 18 months of life, they're very important. So the nature that a lot of good therapists talk about, the compassion that we can have, it's only once you establish a relationship with your emotional body. 5D mystics have it in the Enlightenment Soul Age group, with or without yoga. It's not about belief systems. It's actually your relationship with this right here, your human being, 101 body. So people who have a challenge with it, that's why good therapists are important to find out about, and that's why it's important to find out about neuroscience and how the mind and brain works in relationships. Trauma is relational. Intimacy is the core. The first place you have intimacy is with yourself, and if you can't unconditionally love you with flaws and imperfections, you're not going to be able to love another.